The Honorable President's address lays down a very magnificent and clear roadmap for reconstruction of this great civilization and rebuilding of a new India. One of the characteristic traits of this government led by our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi has been its insistence on solving long pending issues with a very decisive nature. Sir, new India cannot be built without healing the wounds of the past, without addressing the issues that had confronted this nation from a very long time, and without bringing closure to a lot of pressing national issues which had drained this country's energy. And sir, it is to the credit of the Prime Minister's vision and his decisive leadership that many issues of the past have been addressed and have been given a closure. Sir, 370. This issue was pending since the time of our independence. The Prime Minister's leadership and this government's decisiveness has put an end to this continuous separation, psychological, constitutional, legal, and most importantly emotional, that people of Jammu and Kashmir as well as the mainland of India faced for the last 70 years. Article 370 was used as a wedge by Pakistan to further its vested interest in Kashmir and further Islamic terrorism in Jammu and Kashmir. But sir, with the abrogation of Article 370, a 70-year-old pending problem has been put to rest and we have moved on. In the same way, triple talaq, a long pending issue, ensuring justice is given to our young women, young Muslim women, that was addressed decisively by this parliament and by this government. Sir, more than 500 years, Hindus of this country wish that the injustice that was meted out to them 500 years ago when the great Ram Mandir which was in Ayodhya, which was desecrated and demolished by Babur, that had to be redone, rebuilt. People waited for 500 years, and in the last so many years, people made continuous effort, legally, constitutionally, politically, in mass movements, spiritual movements, to rebuild this temple. But it took the Prime Minister and his decisive leadership to ensure that a big issue like this, a festering wound which had created so much of conflict in the society, even that was addressed. And today, it's a great moment, in a red letter day in India's civilizational history, because the Prime Minister addressed the nation and made this statement that the magnificent construction of Ram Mandir is only a few months, a few years away, a few days away. A big issue has now been closed. So, in the same manner, whether it was the issue of the Bodoland issue, whether it was the issue of Bruriang, all of these issues, which were pending from the last 6 decades, 7 decades, all have been given a closure. When the country was partitioned, sir, the issue of those people who stayed back in Pakistan and erstwhile East Pakistan was a very important issue that needed to be addressed by this country. No government decided to take the issue head on. From Mahatma Gandhi to Jawaharlal Nehru to even Manmohan Singh, from when he spoke in this very house and demanded citizenship rights to Sikhs and Hindus from Pakistan, all of them, irrespective of political parties, spoke in one tone and wanted justice to those refugees who came to India unable to bear the persecution, religious persecution in Pakistan. Sir, it was our government, under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the decisive visionary leadership of Honorable Home Minister Amit Shah ji, which passed this historic Citizenship Amendment Act to ensure that these persecuted religious minorities will be given a justice. Sir, what is extremely disappointing, what is extremely troubling, is that the opposition of this country, knowing fully well that these legislations, especially the Citizenship Amendment Act, has nothing whatsoever to do with taking away citizenship from anyone, has gone around the country indulging in a campaign of lies, a campaign of slander, misguiding the people of this country. I want to ask all those leaders in the opposition, how will you face the next generation of this country? How will you face the young generation of this country when every single day you are on a campaign based only on untruth and lies? So what is happening today in Shaheen Bagh in Delhi is a stark reminder that if the majority of this country is not vigilant, if the patriotic Indians do not stand up to this, the days of Mughal Raj coming back and revisiting Delhi is not very far away. Sir, what is happening in Shaheen Bagh is fanatic Islamism masquerading in the garb of constitutional secularism, sir. And therefore, we must exercise vigilance to ensure that this country will be on a path of true secularism, on a path of true secularism. Sir, no, I will not yield. I will not yield, sir.
Please.
Sir, I will not yield.
Karimulji,
what is every single day you have been engaging in a...
It will be removed the record. Yes.
You are misguiding the young people of this country. So I want to ask all of you. People say the CAA is an unconstitutional bill. My question to the opposition. Sir, this year, in 2019, the members of the European Parliament visited Pakistan and came up with this report on the state of religious minorities in Pakistan. I want to ask the leaders in the opposition. This is what the report says, and I'm quoting from the European parliamentarians' report because it is because you take their word to be gospel more than the Indian leaders. Sir, Sonia, sir, wait, sir. Sonia, I want to ask all of you. Sonia, 9-year-old girl belonging to the Christian community. 9-year-old girl belonging to the Christian community. What did she have to face? She was abducted and she was raped. All of 9 years old.
Come to the subject.
All of 9 years old.
Come to the subject.
Sir, Varsha. Sir, Varsha, 12-year-old Hindu girl, she was abducted, forcefully converted, and she was killed. Sir, Monica, 11-year-old girl, Sikh community, abducted, raped, and issued death threats. What the opposition is trying to do today is to stop this 11-year-old girl, this 9-year-old girl from getting citizenship here. You are denying them justice. What you are doing, is unethical. What you are doing is unjust. What you are doing is inhuman. And this country will remember this country will remember this bigotry of this opposition. Sir,
yes,
sir, I also want to ask. Please. Sir, I also want to ask.
Yes.
Sir, I also want to ask. Their argument is that why is it that the CAA is not giving citizenship to the Muslims of Pakistan or Bangladesh? So how can the persecutor and the persecuted both be seen on an equal footing? So Article 14 not only mandates us to treat the equals equally, but it also commands that the unequals must be treated unequally. You cannot equalize the perpetrator and the persecutor on the same footing. It will be violation of Article 14 and the fundamental principle of equality. Sir, CAA has brought closure to the issue of refugees from these two countries and has healed the wounds of partition. So what the opposition wants is the opposition does not want all of these problems to be closed. They want these wounds to continue festering so that they can continue with their vote bank politics every single day. They want their vote bank politics to continue. Whereas, sir, we want to build a new India, and we know that a new India cannot be built unless the wounds of the past are healed, the chapters are closed, and new chapters are opened. Which is why this government is a problem-solving government. And I am proud, sir, to belong to a young generation which is a problem-solving generation of India. I represent a problem-solving generation of India which does not hesitate to solve problems. Sir, I just want to conclude by bringing two important points to the attention of this august house. Sir, Winston Churchill Sir, Winston Churchill, while speaking on defining who a fanatic is, very clearly said that a fanatic is a person who does not change his mind nor change the subject. Sir, I have heard the parliamentarians from the opposition from yesterday. All of them have been speaking only on issues that are destructive to the secular fabric of this country. Sir, I don't want to spend much time on that, because under the leadership of this Prime Minister, a new India is rising, and I want to bring your attention, sir, to this new India that is arising. Sir, in 2020, sir, I just want to make two more points. Sir, in 1998, when Abdul Kalam ji was the president of this country, we were all in school, and he laid down a very grand vision of 2020 India superpower. And in his grand vision, he focused on how India could rise to be a technological superpower to achieve the status of a global leader. So today, under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, this technological vision of Abdul Kalam has found implementation and execution. Sir, just three areas in which we will see this all-pervasive technology being put into action in good governance. Sir, I wouldn't want to take much of your time, sir, but this is something. I will conclude in 2 minutes, sir. Yes, sir, I would just conclude in 2 minutes. Sir, good governance is most essential to bring this country out of poverty, to build this new India. And technology is the backbone of governance of our government. Sir, if we look at how Aadhaar, DBT, how Jan Dhan, mobile, FASTag, RuPay cards, all of these technological platforms today are platforms of good governance. One will realize how all-pervasive good governance based on technology today is. So just on the basis of DBT, direct benefit transfer, the country has saved more than 1,70,000 crore rupees. Kanimoiji, I want to draw your attention, 1,70,000 crores. Perhaps you will understand the magnitude if I say that the country lost 1,70,000 crores in the 2G scam. The amount of money that the country lost in the 2G scam, this country is saving just by the direct benefit transfer, sir. Sir, not just that.
Please conclude.
Sir, not just that. Sir, 121 crore people have gotten Aadhaar card.
You conclude now. You conclude
60 crore people have got RuPay card. More than 2 lakh crores in December 2019 was the transaction amount under UPIs. Sir, 450 schemes of this government, including important schemes like the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, are all based on digital technology, geotagging. Sir, you may remember the days of Indra Awas Yojana, where nobody, sir, the beneficiary clearly had no idea where the money was going. But today, from Indira Awas to Prime Minister Modi's Awas, the country has taken a big leap and has done a full circle of transparency and efficiency. Sir, let me conclude with just one thing, sir. Sir, I would just conclude in 30 seconds. Sir, in 1978, our country, yes sir, in 1978, this country had a very big opportunity of becoming the biggest manufacturing hub, the factory of the world. In 1978, sir, we missed the last bus of industrialization, because the government of the day was more interested in mandal-kamandal politics. The country's politicians that day were in fairy tale socialism, and therefore in 1978, sir, when China opened its doors for liberalization, we were sleeping and were in deep slumber. But today, sir, we have a government which is proactive. Sir, I must congratulate. Sir, I must congratulate our government.
Sit down.
Sir, sir, I must congratulate our government for sailing with the times and giving. Sir, today in the budget, 8,000 crores have been allotted just for quantum computing research in this country, sir. Industry Revolution 4.0, India will not be a bystander watching it. India will be a leader. India will be watching it, sir. So I would just want to conclude by congratulating the Honorable Prime Minister and the leadership that he has given to this country. And I must, on behalf of young India, which is at the forefront of this innovation, which is at the forefront of this technological revolution, I thank him, sir.
इस तरह की खबरें देखने के लिए आप हमारे चैनल को लाइक करके सब्सक्राइब कीजिए और नोटिफिकेशन बेल ऑन कीजिए। धन्यवाद।